Veganthused. Get Veganthused. Veganthused. Get Veganthused. Vegan food can taste fantastic. G'day, I'm MC Pony and I'm Veganthused. Today we're back in the kitchen with Leigh Drew. Thank you, Leigh, for coming back on the program.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Lots and lots of fun.
Well, what's the plan?
The plan is basically to show you some base ingredients that you can get from any supermarket anywhere, and then to mix it all up and make 3 different sort of lunchy meals with different proteins. So, yeah, it's going to be lots of fun, I think.
And I see there's tempeh on the table there. Now, I have to admit that while I love tofu and I eat it regularly, I haven't yet found a tempeh dish that I actually enjoyed.
Yeah, the tempeh.
Still, I reckon if there's anyone who can turn tempeh into something I will find appealing, it's you. No pressure, obviously.
Okay, I'm just going to have to go.
Well, actually, I'll be the one to go. I'll let you get stuck into it, and I'll come back at the end for the tempeh verdict.
Excellent, fabulous. Looking forward to it. Thank you. So essentially, we're looking at some base ingredients to which I will then add a variety of proteins, and we'll show different ways that you can serve them. So our base ingredients for this particular adventure in food cookery are going to be spring onions, peas, lemons, and seasoning, obviously, salt and pepper. So the first thing that we're going to make is a chickpea dip or topping for biscuits or lettuce, and so we're going to be using chickpeas, canned chickpeas. The second one I'm going to make is a tofu salad on a sandwich. And the third is going to be a pasta salad, which I'll be using tempeh for. Now, tempeh is the fermented bean curd cake. So the first thing I'm actually going to do with this before I start prepping anything else is I'm going to take this tempeh cake and I'm going to bung it over some boiling water to steam for about 10 minutes. The thing that most people really dislike about tempeh is a kind of weird metallic-y, fermented-y, mouldy taste, and steaming it does actually reduce that taste. So now that that's in and going, I am going to attempt to chop up some spring onions. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do now that I've done some spring onion prep is I'm going to take my chickpeas and I'm going to mash them. They're just drained from a can. Yeah, you can use obviously your own cooked chickpeas, in which case this is about a cup and a half, but I'm lazy and canned stuff is easy, and yeah, always give them a darn good rinsing. So you don't necessarily have to break it up so that they're all completely broken up. You can have some whole bits, but it adds a little bit of nice, so it's nice and sort of dippy. So, other than the spring onions and the lemon juice, one of the main things that we're actually going to have as a similar ingredient across all of these is actually mayonnaise, because it's a really simple thing. You can use it in a lot of different ways, and it's again one of those things that I like to introduce people to the idea of accidentally vegan, where you can find something in the supermarket that everybody recognises and everybody is comfortable with, and it turns out that you can consume it, and being vegan isn't that hard after all. If you're in the middle of nowhere and you've got no other choice, you can use Praised 97% fat-free. It has to be the 97% fat-free one because all the others have got egg in them. This one is made purely from oils and lots of sugar, so you have to balance out the sugar a little bit in this to make sure that it's not revoltingly gross. So we're going to, oh, gelatinous. So we're going to put in about half as much mayonnaise as we have chickpeas. Gelatinous. And mix that through nicely. Now, at this point, you could pretty much go anywhere. You could use it on, you could mix it through pasta, you could put it over rice, you could put it into a sandwich, but we're going to add some more things into it to add some different textures and interest in it. So, I'm going to put a whole lot of spring onion in there that we chopped earlier. Lovely oniony bite to it. We're going to put in about the same amount of peas. And we're actually also going to use, the French like to call these, and anybody particularly chefy will call these cornichons. They're miniature cucumbers that have been pickled. So we're just going to very quickly do a little bit of chopping on these ones. Okay, so we're going to dump cornichons in there. And the last thing that we're going to use as an addition to everything else is a little bit of seeded mustard. Seeded mustard will add a lovely amount of bite and another little bit of flavour to the whole thing, and will also undercut a lot of that sugariness. I'm going to put a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and then give it a good mix through. So obviously as I'm making these, the flavour profile is going to be fairly similar because we're using the same base ingredients. I did actually forget the lemon juice, so let's just put a little bit of lemon juice in there. But it is, I don't expect you to eat all at once, but it is the idea that it is fairly simple to get all of this stuff from one place, have it in your cupboards, and you can use it in lots of different exciting ways. Okay, so the next one we're going to make is the filling for an tofu salad sandwich, and this one's going to have a little bit more crunch in it because we're going to use some carrots. So that's about a cup's worth of carrot that we're chopping up there, and then this is the fun bit. I do encourage people to play with their food. We'll take our extra firm tofu and we'll cut it up, and because I have a cut on this finger, I'm not going to use this hand, but I'm going to do this. Squish it. Some little chunks in there is fine, but what you're actually looking for is more for it to bind everything else together. So this one, we're going to add some of the besan flour to it. So we're going to go with about a tablespoon or so. You don't want to have a weird floury taste. Okay, so we'll stir that through a bit, just to mix it up a bit. And also a good pinch of salt. So we've got the seasoning in there, we've got the besan flour in there. We'll grab a lovely big bit of oniony goodness again. Some peas. Alright, so spring onions, peas, salt, pepper, lemon juice. Okay, douse this with a little bit of lemon juice. And finally, now this will actually probably be slightly less mayonnaise than in the previous one in comparison, because we're just actually using it to bind together the rest of it so that it becomes a spoonable sort of salad that you could place on something. Okay, so the last of these many combinations of essentially the same ingredients. This is going to be a tempeh dish, which is a cold pasta salad. So the pasta I've actually used is, and already cooked and cooled, is veggeroni pasta. No eggs, no animal bits. Lovely pasta. So that's been boiled as per the packet instructions and then drained and refreshed with cold water and then left to cool. We've got our tempeh, which has been steamed and then left to cool a little bit. Now there are many different ways that you can deal with the tempeh to put through this. You can grate it, which gives it, sort of mixes it through a little bit more. You can mash it. I've run out of pretty much everything to grate or mash things, so I'm going to very finely chop it. So we have our lovely, not particularly chunky bits of tempeh. I'm going to add them to our pasta. I'm going to use the rest of our spring onions. So what we've got here is two different types of parsley, mostly so I could demonstrate the two different types of parsley. Curly parsley, continental parsley. Both kind of taste like parsley. Slightly earthier, I tend to think, but less confronting. So we're just going to do that. And the other thing we're going to use is about half of this lovely lot of dill. So we're going to grab a little bit of the dill off the top. You can chop this as finely or as roughly as you like. I'm going to have a bit of a go because it's been a bit of a long day. Okay, so we're going to then take our massive amount of herbs and straight in. Add the last of our peas, all of the rest of our lemon juice, a healthy pinch of salt. Now slightly less pepper, because we're also going to add Tabasco. Alright. So we're going to stir it all together. A lovely mass of herby, mayonnaise-y, pasta-y, tempeh-y goodness. That's the end of that. I can serve that up to the hungry crew if they want some. But essentially I'll just take you through each of the three things that I made. So first of all, on the lettuce leaves and on the crackers, that's our chickpea mixture. In the sandwiches, there's Nuttalex lettuce and the tofu mixture. And then there's also the pasta and tempeh salad. Obviously, serving all of these at once would be a little bit weird. But I think that this is quite nice as something you could have as an entree someday, or party food. Then we have the sandwiches, which would be nice to take to work, and this is a great summer sort of dinner. Anyway, so here we have the many mayonnaise-covered goodies and lots and lots of fun proteins. So I'm going to get MC Pony to come back in to try everything. We're going to start with chickpea, work our way through tofu, and then see how we do with the tempeh.
So you're saving the best to last?
Absolutely. So, go.
So that'd be good finger food at a party.
You'd make friends. Or you can do it as a dip. It's like a chunky dip. So I tend to think of... Oh, there it goes. Okay, we'll just leave the plate over there then.
Who needs a plate? You've got a bench.
I sleep. Oh, your phone. Lots of lettuce. Lettuce is a key ingredient in this. It's so good it oozes out the sides.
I think mesh is a key ingredient.
Yes. No, you don't have to eat all of it if you are you hungry?
I could.
Okay,
maybe I'll save that till afterwards.
Yeah. So come on, brave it. There's a spoon, there's a fork. You can magically avoid all the bits of tempeh because you can tell.
No, I have to go for the tempeh. No, if I had my eyes closed and I didn't know what you were feeding me, I wouldn't have known there was tempeh in that.
Look at it. There goes another piece. Awesome.
I think I would.
All right.
I will have a bit of tempeh just on its own. And you're right, the steaming, it's just not regular tempeh anymore.
So, do you think you're going to try to integrate tempeh into your life? Come on, try it at least once. For me, steam some tempeh.
Yeah.
Add it to something. Fry the little crap out of it, and we all good. Okay, excellent. Mission accomplished for this particular little vegan person. So.
And obviously, I wouldn't normally be eating all three of them at once.
No.
It's just pick one, choose what you want to go with on the day, but know that you've got 3 different options.
And one trip to the supermarket, really. So that's a bonus. Excellent. You want to wrap this baby up?
Yeah. Well, maybe we can both be veganthused.
Veganthused!
Yep.
Veganthused. Get veganthused. Veganthused. Get veganthused. Vegan food can taste fantastic.